So, oh, that's a cool little bird. I hope it doesn't. Whatever. So today I'm going to talk about two things. Two things. So I've written two letters. I've probably written a lot more in my life, but two that I remember fondly. One of them was in 10th grade. It was to my 10th grade English teacher. It was a pretty negative letter overall. It displayed my distaste for this individual. It displayed my distaste for his class. I remember writing some things that were overall pretty negative and actually really alarming. I ended up leaving it on his desk, and he wasn't in the class at the time. A substitute teacher was in there. And I went back to whatever class I was at, and I left it there. I left it there, and I left it there up until maybe 30 minutes later. I was like, you know what? That might be a bad letter to leave for a teacher. I think there were some things about... I don't really remember. Well, actually, I really don't remember what was in the letter. I just know it was overwhelmingly negative. And I knew in my soul that if I had left that letter, he would have been hurt, I would have been in trouble, and it would not have been well for any of us. So eventually, I went back to the classroom, and I got the letter, and I tore it up. This letter was... I'm glad I didn't leave it, I think. Who knows what would have happened if I did. Yeah. I remember not liking the man's class. I remember thinking some things in the class while I was in the class. Why didn't I like the man? I can't specifically remember, funnily enough. I think I was just not too fond of his absolute strictness and some other things, but I was also probably going through some other things as well that I didn't really realize I was going through. So that letter was almost 15 years ago, I think. What? 2013 maybe? 14 at the latest? 2014, because it was spring. Maybe that wasn't 15 years ago. That was 10 years ago now. So, that was one letter I've written. And the next one I wrote, that I can remember fondly, was actually last year in July, after watching a movie called Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Fun fact, that movie was terrible. Another fun fact, it was really boring. Another fun fact, Michael Bay has written better movies than whatever that movie was. Off of the fun fact part, I wrote a letter to somebody that expressed was supposed to express my gratitude, and also, for some strange reason, express what I was feeling when I was around that person. Now, when I wrote this letter, and throughout the times that I had been around the person, I knew that this person didn't feel anything at all. So I was well aware of what I was doing when I was writing it, and I was well aware of my retarded feelings. So, yeah. Anyway, I worked with this person for 3.5 years. I don't really remember when they showed up. I think they were always there, and I think I showed up. Anyway, they were always there. I was kind of always there. Overall, this person kind of made me feel like shit most of the time, which is really odd, because I don't know how you could like somebody who makes you feel like shit. More on that later. But, I also felt this person was kind of mean. Specifically towards me. I kept giving this person an excuse that, oh, well, their life is hard right now, so maybe they're just taking it out on me. Keep in mind that I was very much what was I? I didn't know what I was. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew I was living, and I knew that what I was how I was living was not how I wanted to live, but I had to live that way because I didn't have much of a choice. My living situation was nice in a way, but bad in other ways. One, I didn't have a shower where I was living, so I had to shower at the school I went to. I only had a microwave to cook my own food. So it was either TV dinners or, if I felt fancy, steaming chicken in a little pot with water. I had a mini fridge, not a regular size fridge. So there was a whole bunch of different things. I had 2 dogs. One of them was mine, one of them was not mine, but I was totally okay with the one that was not mine because that one was low maintenance. Having to put that one down sucked, and then having to give away my dog also sucked. But anyway, back to this person who I liked, but for some strange reason. This person was, I thought, mean. There was one specific time in which I remember being bitched out over something rather small in my estimation. We were coming back, it was me, this person, and like 2 other people. We were coming back from an event of some sort. I had suggested something, and then this person absolutely, equivocally, unapologetically bitched me out and essentially made me feel bad about myself. Now, I should have said something back then, but as you know, you don't know. Back then, I was not someone who would stick up for myself in that way, especially to someone like that, because that person, I felt, was on a different level, and I was on this level. Actually, I was way down here. Anywho, the people who witnessed it, one of them looked a little shocked and like laughed, and the other one just kind of stood there awkwardly. Yeah, I don't know. That was a shitty day, or a shitty experience, I should say, because I don't remember the rest of the day. I think the rest of the day was positive in the beginning until that incident. Yeah, I don't know. I think overall the person made me feel like absolute dog shit, and it was odd. It was like odd, like how do you... I don't know. Anyway, one day, for some retarded reason, I liked this individual. Like, what the fuck? How do you... I guess it's kind of like a comedic TV show where 2 characters don't like each other and then they end up liking each other. But I equated this to when you're in a relationship with somebody and then they break up with you, but then one person still likes that other person even though they treated them like shit. Maybe it's kind of equated like that, but not really, because we were never in sort of any entanglement or relationship, so I don't know. I think my brain just works in odd, mysterious ways. So I had to live with that. I had to be around this person. Not all the time. And then for some strange reason, like this person, but then also realize that this person's extremely mean. I don't know, it was odd. It was very odd. I can't believe that happened to me. But also lots of things have happened to me. So, yeah, fast forward, I leave the place. I go and I live life somewhere else for 3.5 years or something. I don't know how long it was. I come back for a short time, not to work there, but to transition into my next phase of life, which is here, in the city of Philadelphia, in which a lot of people get murdered, apparently. Woohoo! God damn it. Let's see. Yes, I went back to that specific area to say hi and bye. And at a certain point, I went to go see that movie, Transformers, which was, again, a terrible, boring movie. I wanted to leave, but I paid so much money to be there, like $7, $12, I don't know. And the positive thing about going to the movie was they had these little notepads. It was a dine-in theater type thing. So I stole the little notepad in which I would write this letter on. And I went home from there and I wrote the letter. The letter started out in a pretty, I would say, autistic, retarded way. So in my world, I ventured into the world of the internet for a very long time. And in the world of the internet, you see lots of perspectives of people. And you also, even in real life, when talking to real people, you hear things like, in regards to relationships and people liking each other and all this other shit, it's like, oh, I don't want to be liked for my body, I want to be liked for who I am. So I'm thinking this as a nice little hippy-dippy retard liberal person of like, oh yeah, that's probably a good way to start the letter. So I start the letter like that. I start the letter like, I don't like you for what you look like, I like you for who you are. Now I will say that was a pretty bad move looking back on it, but in the moment I felt that would make sense because A, I figured this person would have the intellectual ability of saying like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It sounds awkward, but it makes sense. Anyway, I started out like that. I wish this person whatever, and then I wrote a bunch of other shit. I included a goddamn song lyric. That was stupid. But I do like that song a lot. I haven't listened to that band in a fat minute, which I will probably do after I film this video. Well, actually, after I film the video, I'm going to watch a video, and then I'm going to listen to the song. Anyway, it was a 9-page... It wasn't supposed to be that long. It was supposed to be like 3 pages. But I love writing. I've always enjoyed writing. It has been something that I've been good at since I was a child. Yeah, so I love writing and I love it, and I, as evident in my previous encounter with writing, I wrote a letter to the teacher, and then I wrote a letter to this person. Anyway, I wrote the letter. I show up, I give it to this person. I quickly realize at a certain point, I realized... God damn it. At a certain point, I realized why I probably should not like this individual, and it became very clear to me as soon as I entered the room. So, yeah, anyway, even in general, in the past of talking to this person, when you talk to them, when I talk to them, I don't know if it's you, it was like no general human eye contact, I would say, kind of like how I'm doing now. Like if I'm talking to you, if you're right here and you're talking to me, and I just continue looking forward at what I'm doing or whatever, then you would probably feel like shit. I'm assuming, I don't know, maybe not. But because anyway, I'm sorry, I got off track. That is something that happened. That happened regularly, even when I worked there with that person. Very seldomly, I felt like this person would look at me in the eye and talk to me. Sorry, there's a bird. And I noticed that they would look at other people when they talk to them. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe it's because I'm a fucking retard that she won't look at me. But it's also just like, you know, you can do whatever you want. You can, I don't know. I just feel like respect is something that is, maybe it's earned and given, but I think in some cases it should just be given and then it should be lost. That's how I think respect should be. I think it should be given in such a way like that. Anywho, so I came back. I kind of talked to the person in the same way that they have been talking, that I have been talking. I talk at this person. That's what I'm doing. And ultimately, God fucking shit. Eventually this was really dumb, because I started out with giving the person the letter instead of ending it with it. I probably should have done that. But, you know, whatever. Yeah, I give them the letter. I, stand there and talk at them for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Maybe a minute. Then someone else comes in. Someone else who also works there. They also talk. I know they're talking about, wanting to go home because they were there on a weekend in which there was a holiday on Monday or something. Or the holiday was the next day or some shit. Because it was 4th of July. So I did it July 3rd, 2023. What year is it? 24? Yeah. I don't know when I'm going to release this video. Maybe I'll do it the same day I did it. Maybe. Anyway, yeah. So I did that shit. I gave the person the letter. I wasn't proud. I didn't care like what the. I guess when you do things, you have to have a purpose for it, and in some ways, I didn't really have a purpose for it. I just wanted to do it because I wanted to get it over. It's just something that I wanted to do. Does that make sense? It probably doesn't make sense, but it makes sense to me. Kind of like how I'm not going on that tangent. Yeah. So I did that. I left. I did the stupid thing of coming back after the holiday because there was, I guess, a 2-day break in some way of like. A 1-day break, I should say. I don't know why I did this. I was retarded to do this. I also was not expecting that person to be there. Even though they work there, but I'm also like, it's summer vacation. I'm probably, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I come back on July 5th. I think I'm there to shower because I think I leave. Yeah, because I leave that Saturday. And I think July 4th was Tuesday, so I was there on Wednesday. Yeah, that's how it worked out. Because I left. Go away, fucking thing. I go in, I don't know, it's like 11 in the morning. I walk outside. I go in, you go in and like you can go through this fucking atrium area. And I go outside, I sit outside, it's about to rain. I still sit out there because I realize the weather up there is bitchy in terms of it doesn't have the balls to rain. Unlike Florida, when it rains, it fucking rains and then it stays raining for like the next 10 minutes and then it stops. I stay outside. I was like, okay, whatever. I say goodbye to someone else I kind of knew there. Oh my god. He tells me he's from Philadelphia, so he's like, you gotta be careful. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't know. I don't know if it's dangerous because of all the Negroes that live here, or if it's just because there's a lot of gun violence, or it's both. But seemingly, everyone seems to be afraid of this goddamn place. I say this balls to take it and of course, it's not fun when it happens to you, so I'm pretty retarded for saying that. But I said it anyway. God, what else? So then I walk back in after he leaves. I kind of walk towards the desk. The person happens to be there, which I kind of already knew. So I'm not going to sit there and act like I didn't know they were there. And then this person gets up and leaves, and I was like, oh shit. Which, I don't know. I don't know in the world of, I don't know. I don't have a, what don't I have? I don't have, I didn't care. Like, I don't know, if you want to go for something, go for it. But also, like, I think what I was ultimately going to do was apologize for even giving the person said letter, because I was like, oh, that was kind of dumb. There was no real purpose behind it. I probably could have kept it to myself, but it was also just like, yeah, why not? Anyway, the person gets up and leaves, and then this other person who works with that person stares at me in a condescending tone. How do you stare in a tone? I don't know, but you'll know when it happens to you. Then yeah, ultimately I go take a shower in the other building, because there's a shower in the other building. Because I didn't have a shower when I went back. This was a bad mess. So I had to spend $60 to go shower if I wanted to go shower. So go shower in the other building. I clean out my locker that I had set up. And then, I go home. Right? No. I did. Well, I go home, and then I leave on Saturday. No, Friday? Saturday? One of the two. I don't know. I know I skipped work. That's what I know I did. I know I skipped the last day of work. Probably a not really smart thing to do. If I could, I'd probably take that back specifically, because that was pretty mean and dumb. Because to leave that man high and dry was pretty fucked up, but also I was just so sick of that place, and just that whole area in general. I was like, I'm gonna leave! No excuse, but still. That's how I was feeling, so that's what was happening. Anyway, Yeah, that's the story. That's the story of how my life got turned upside down and I ended up here in Philadelphia. So, I don't know. Why did I tell this story? I don't know, man. Who cares? Why not? You know? Yeah, that's all I had. That's all I had to say. I guess my question to myself is, why would you like a mean person? I don't know. Or someone you perceive as mean, and that's a great question. I couldn't tell you. I would also say that if this person... I don't know. I think I give some people too much credit, because I learned from my boss today that, like, you have to assume people are stupid. And so I should have assumed that that person is stupid. Maybe that person... I'm not to say the person is stupid, but I don't fucking know, maybe. I don't know. I think I took a number of different things. I think I took the idea of this person being conventionally attractive, and then also tying that to how I knew some girls of, like, women being used of some sorts. So I just kind of tied that sort of narrative to that person. I don't know. I don't think I did that at all. I think I'm just making shit up now. I think what I did was I spoke what I thought was true and what I thought was nice and cool, and it was either taken the worst way or the best way or none way at all. And yeah, that's it. That's it. I have nothing else to say. I do want to say one other thing not related to that. Living on the East Coast and being so close to the event of which 9/11 happened kind of gives perspective of 9/11 jokes as a human being. Because as a child, you kind of make lots of jokes all the time. 9/11 being one of them, and of course the beaches of Normandy being the other, and all these other stupid jokes about sad things. But now you live on the East Coast, in which it happened closer than ever in proximity, and you're like, oh shit. But you can still have conversations with people about it, and they'll talk about it, kind of. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. That's all I have. Alright. Here's a video of sad things happening.